Hello everyone. This project is presented by myself, Adam Fima, and my friend Aaron Cohen. We decided to focus on the Oculus building designed by Santiago Calatrava in the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center, and most particularly the Twin Towers, were the face of capitalism and financial activities for decades. Tragically, as we all know, on September 11, 2001, a terrorist attack led to the destruction of these towers and the beginning of the darkest time of US modern history. Nowadays, years after this tragedy, the World Trade Center now embodies both hope and freedom and has become one of the most visited sites in the world where people can pay remembrance. In this study, we see how architecture, shapes and design permitted the World Trade Center to rise again and spread an impactful message of rebirth worldwide.
Santiago Calatrava, born July 28, 1951, near Valencia, Spain, is a Spanish architect widely known for his sculptural bridges and buildings. Calatrava studied architecture at the Polytechnic University of Valencia, from which he graduated in 1974. The following year, he began a course in structural engineering at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, receiving a PhD in technical science. Calatrava gained a reputation for his ability to blend advanced engineering solutions with dramatic visual statements in both bridges and buildings. He stated that nature served as his guide, inspiring him to create buildings that reflected natural shapes and rhythms. He was intensely interested in the architectural use of zoomorphic forms. His best-known works include the Milwaukee Art Museum, the Turning Torso Tower in Malmö, Sweden, the World Trade Center Transportation Hub in New York City, the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge in Dallas, Texas, and his largest project, the City of Arts and Sciences and Opera House in his birthplace, Valencia. His architectural firm has offices in New York City, Doha, and Zurich.
The Oculus is the transportation hub for the multiple subway lines. It sees hundreds of thousands of people passing by each day and brings more than 120 million tourists each year. Together, we're going to talk about the importance of its location and depicts its exterior design and its scale, and finally, we talk about its interior. It is necessary for the memory of the victims that the building possesses a relationship with the emotional background of this particular location. Calatrava elaborates. The Oculus both respects the memory of September 11th and also underlines the American spirit of looking forward after such an enormous tragedy. First of all, let's talk about its exterior. The facade is made by softly curving white steel walls that rise 160 feet like a pair of immense clamshells. It grows outwards from the ground floor to the sky, and when you are 2 levels down, then the space is much bigger than the outside. So even though the building looks limited and can fit in the rectangle of the block, when you are inside the hub, you get the impression of a very large, extending vessel ready to take off to a limitless space. According to Calatrava, it was intended to resemble to a dove flying from the hand of a child, bringing a sense of hope to a site of tragedy. Second of all, let's talk about its scale. According to the architect, the Oculus is an escape to New York skyscrapers. It's the intermediate between the scale of towers and our own human scale. I quote, "It humanizes the context of gigantic towers." My favorite aspect of the building is its design. Calatrava's focus on form, space, light, and meaning in the Oculus' entire design, both outside and inside. Every September 11th at 10:28 a.m., the time when the second tower collapsed, the sunlight shines through the skylight and illuminates the central axis of the main hall. This way of light aligns with the longitudinal axis of the Oculus, signifying the end of 9/11 tragedy and the beginning of the reconstruction. Using Calatrava's own word, the archaic sense of the use of the sun thousands of years ago and its use in the architecture today. At 800,000 square feet, this space features a mezzanine, retail spaces, and access to the station 4 underground platforms, bright white color scheme. To conclude, this building celebrates life and inspires new generation.
The antecedent we have chosen for the Oculus is the Milwaukee Art Museum. Windover Hall is the grand reception hall and among the pavilion's many architectural highlights. Complete with flying buttresses, pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and a central nave topped by a 90-foot high glass roof, it is Calatrava's interpretation of a Gothic cathedral. The hall's main area is shaped like a ship, with floor-to-ceiling windows looking over Lake Michigan. Adjoining the central hall are two arched promenades, the Baumgartner Galleria and Schroeder Galleria, with expansive views of the lake and downtown. The museum's signature wings, the Bierke Brie-Soleil, form a movable sun screen with a 217-foot wingspan. The Brie-Soleil is made of 72 steel fins, ranging in length from 26 to 105 feet. The entire structure weighs 90 tons. It takes 3.5 minutes for the wings to open or close. Sensors on the fins continually monitor wind speed and direction, so when winds exceed 23 miles per hour for more than 3 seconds, the wings close automatically. According to Santiago Calatrava, the Quadrati Pavilion's design responds to the culture of the lake, the sailboats, the weather, the sense of motion and change. And in the crowning element of Brie-Soleil, he stated, the building's form is at once formal, completing the composition, functional, controlling the level of the light, symbolic, opening to welcome visitors, and iconic, creating a memorable image for the museum and the city.